Good evening, everybody. Welcome into my channel, Build a Quilt. Excuse me, I've got something in my mouth because I have a sore throat today. And welcome to week number 1 of our Quilt Along. Hang on, got to turn down. I've got my other site up here so I can see if there are questions, and I didn't have the volume turned all the way down. So welcome to our first week of our Quilt Along. Hi, everybody. There we go. Week 1 of the Quilt Along. I'll get it together eventually. If you're just stopping in for the first time, hello and welcome. Build a Quilt is all about creating beautiful patchwork with your embroidery machine. So if you have an embroidery machine, stick around and find out what that's all about. Tonight we start our Quilt Along. We've got lots to go through this week. I see we've already got some folks signing in and saying hello. So if you're jumping on in the comments, please say, hey, I'm so-and-so. I'm here. Tell us where you're from. We'd love to say hello to you. Hello, Kathy from North Carolina. Excuse me. And hello, Lisa from NOLA. That's New Orleans, for those of you who don't know what that abbreviation stands for. Good old NOLA. I spent a lot of time down there when I lived in Florida, when my husband was flying for the Navy. He had to go out to Washington where we were going to be resettled. And I have a dear friend who grew up in New Orleans. And so we spent a lot of time there. Her grandmother taught me how to cook good Cajun food. So I have lots of great memories of New Orleans. So if you're new, though, or if you're just joining in with us, please sign in. Let us know where you're from. Hello, Rosie from Illinois, which is where I'm from. Hi, I'm Diana from Illinois. I'm kind of in the northeastern part, just below Chicago, northeastern, very close to Indiana, like 16 miles, and you're in Indiana from where I live. All righty, folks. Sorry, if you see me blinking a lot or clearing my throat a lot, I have really dry eyes going on right now and kind of a hoarse voice because I'm prepping for singing in a Christmas concert. And so my throat is not quite fully healed from a really long singing session. Now, I'll fill you on. Oh, hang on. I'll fill you in very quickly about what happened last week when I lost the ability to film, go live, and everything. The service I used was down, got completely wiped out to the point where they didn't think they'd be able to, they were going to have to build everything from scratch again. I have the ability to be back on here to film and tape and be with you all live. I will be, probably am going to end up losing some of my pre-recorded segments and stuff that I've done over time. And I've got thousands of them done now, which they're still working hard, but I might have to do a lot of refilming. So if things start to look a little different or the videos look like newer and updated, I'll try to make them better if I have to redo them all. Rosie, you're only 3 miles from Wisconsin. I love Wisconsin. My brother-in-law lived in Union Grove for a while, and I've spent a lot of time in Kenosha. My parents had friends there when I was a kid, and we used to go up there quite a bit, Wisconsin, and of course in the Dells and stuff like that. Beautiful state, Wisconsin. So if you're only 3 miles, I bet you get over there a lot. All righty, folks. So the first thing we like to do every night, I've got something new. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Ruth. I just saw Ruth pop in from the beautiful and glorious Emerald City of Oz. No, the Emerald State, the state of Washington. I'm all about the new movie Wicked coming out. I read that book years ago when it came out. Dave and I have seen the musical, and so we're very excited for this movie to come out. And so when we lived in Washington, we always thought of ourselves as living in the Emerald City because Washington's known as the Emerald State because it's so well, they say it's so beautiful and green, and it is if you're on the western side of the Cascade Mountains. If you're on the eastern side, it's much more grasslands and orchards, and it's probably a lot greener now because, I mean, it's wine country now and all kinds of stuff on the eastern side of that state. That's where we get a lot of really yummy fruits and stuff. So the whole state is just gorgeous. Anyway, I will stop giving you a geography lesson about the country because we've got a lot to go through tonight. So I do have a couple of memes for us to go through. I have something brand new because we're starting to prep for the holidays. So I have something brand new to share with you all tonight. But as you're coming in, feel free to pop over and let us know where you're from and introduce yourselves because we'd love to know. So our first meme tonight, here we go. I loved this one. It says, it's strange that every time we go into a quilt shop, even for just a minute, it's always 3 hours later when we come out. And her friend says, yeah, it must be some kind of a bizarre blip in the space-time continuum. And I agree. I can never go into a quilt shop, especially if I go in with a friend, where we don't come out and it's at least 3 hours later. And typically my bank account for some reason is always smaller. Don't know how that happens, but yes, there must be some bizarro space-time continuum going on there. Do you guys experience that same phenomenon? Let us know in the comments if you do, because I know I certainly do. And then we've got another one. Let me bring that one up. I like this one. This was more around the holiday idea. I've made matching placemats, napkins, coasters, and a table runner. I'm so organized this Thanksgiving. And her husband says, or some gentleman says, everything looks great, but where's the food? Oh, poo. That's what I'm forgetting. Yeah, you know, it is that time of year. We're almost to Thanksgiving. If you want to make those beautiful runners and stuff, it's time to start getting those finished. But please plan out that dinner if you're going to make it, or if you're taking something to somewhere, so that you don't forget it, because the food is such a yummy part of Thanksgiving, right? That's what we look for. I mean, that's not the only thing we look forward to on Thanksgiving, obviously. And you'll find tonight in the question of the week is a little something about Thanksgiving. So it's not really a trivia. It's kind of a maybe a survey question. So stay tuned for that when we get to the end. And now there's something else I want to share with you guys. I've been asked about this for about a year and a half now, if Build a Quilt is ever going to have the ability to do gift cards. Because I think some people are like wanting to say to loved ones, get me a gift card for quilting. So it's been a long process for me to figure that out, but we now have them. We now have gift cards, and I want to take you directly to the Build a Quilt website. So here we are at the website, and here's, in fact, this is the Quilt Lab subscription. This is going to be changing here real quick for the 2025 subscription. But if you join the 2024, you will still get all the patterns, all the things, all the access still even now. But this is the front page. We have some of our videos here. But if you want to find the gift cards, just go up to this tab that says More. And right there, it says Gift Card. Click on that, and it brings you to this page. And you can choose any of these pre-dollar amounts. The reason you cannot put in a dollar amount that you want to put in is because I'm waiting to find out the rules in the state of Illinois about whether you can offer gift cards where the patron decides what they want to purchase. Every state is different, and some states don't allow people to put in their own amount. It has to be about a pre-done amount. So for right now, it's pre-done. But as soon as I can find that out, if I can allow that in the state where I live, then I will put that out there. But as you notice, see, if you look right here, it says $10. That's because 10 is chosen right here, just kind of as an auto. But if you click any of these others, the amount will change for you so that it's the right amount. You can order whatever quantity. And then it just asks, is this for someone else or for yourself? And if it's for someone else, they're going to ask you for the recipient's email. So the person you're gifting, their email and their name, and then a delivery date. So if you want to come over here and choose that you want it to go to them so that they get it on Christmas Day, you could just click that. You could even put a message in here that says Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, whatever you want, right there from whomever. And then you click the buy now part and it takes you to checkout. Okay. So it's really easy to do. It's really easy to find. It's just right up here under the more, and right there it is. And that's what it'll look like. They'll get an email from us that says, hey, you have a gift card from such and such a person. They'll see your personalized note, and you can, they can use it. They'll have a link to click when they need to use it. That'll take them to the shop, all of that, and they can choose whatever products at the shop that they want to purchase. So it's really easy to do, but there it is. You guys have been asking for it, and I did it. I was not sure we would have that ready for today because I was still trying to figure out some stuff about how to make it work properly, but it's working. So, because I bought myself my own $10 gift card just to check it out. I was just, since last week when everything went crazy, I'm just been a little bit crazy figuring out. Hi, Ruth, you just got back from there. Did you just get back from Wisconsin? Where did you just get back from, Ruth? I'm seeing your message, but I don't know where you just got back from, dear. So now there are gift cards. So if you want a gift card because you want the subscription that's coming up, I will tell you that the Build a Quilt subscription for 2025, the fee is not going up, okay? It will not go up. I'm not raising it this year, but we are really adding to it, okay? This year was kind of a test year for the subscription service. I've learned a lot. You guys have really helped me. Oh, you've been to the space-time continuum, Ruth. Stop. You're so cute. Stop. Oh, I'm not going to be able to talk by the end of the night. That's hilarious, Ruth. Okay, very good. Very good. So, that subscription is not going to go up. So if you get a gift card, the other thing about the gift card, there is no time limit. It's not going to run out. If you forget, and it's like next August and you go, oh, I have a gift card to Build a Quilt, that gift card and that link, just don't get rid of that email, okay? If you get rid of that email, then there's going to be a problem because I don't think I can retrieve that. I will double check that. If that's the case, I'm sure I can find the original purchase, find out what it was, and we can work that out. But save that email, because that's going to have your link in it, okay? All right, everybody. So I hope that makes you happy because, boy, was I asked for that. I got that email a lot. I got it from a lot of guys. So some of you ladies out there that have gentlemen in your life that have not known what to get you and stuff, some of them have been looking at Build a Quilt. I'll just tell you. All righty, everybody. Now, before we get into the Quilt Lab Quilt Along for this year, the start of it, because I know that's what everybody's so excited about, I do want to reintroduce this month's November block of the month, and it's kind of a little teaser to get us into the holiday spirit. It is our Peppermint Twist block. Peppermint Twist. Isn't there a song? Come on, baby, let's do the twist. But there's something about Peppermint Twist in there too, I think. Anyway, this is the block. Now, there's something special about this block that is not normally how we do the blocks. Let me find my pattern. Here we go. So here is the pattern. Normally, our blocks come in two sizes. Hello, Norma. Oh, Norma, thank you. I'm glad you like it. This is really a great block to do because you're kind of doing three different types of segment blocks. You're doing a 4-patch that's not just made with squares, but with half square triangles and squares. You're doing the split rail. See how often the split rail gets used? That's in our Build a Quilt combo set out on the web. The split rail is in that collection, and you get it in 3 or 4 sizes. And then you're going to be doing the pinwheel itself. So normally these come in 3 sizes, but this month it's coming in 2 sizes. But wait, there's more. So they're 9x9 and the 12x12. And the reason is because instead of giving you a third size, I've heard back from several of you that the three sizes don't always seem valuable to you. There's like a couple of sizes that are the sizes you work in, and you'd rather see like more patterns. I hear you. I hear you. Okay. So with this pattern in the November, you're getting the 9 and the 12-inch pattern set. But once you get to what is normally the end of the pattern set, where you see the full layout of the block, you are also getting a bonus quilt pattern and the sashing set that comes with it. So you're actually getting a third digital design set, and it's sashing, because I know a lot of you have been talking and wanting to do sashing. So here we go. So this is the quilt. Now, I've done it in Christmas colors because like I said, I wanted to give us a little bit of a teaser for the beginning of the holiday season, but you could do this you could do this in any colors you want. I could see this done in lots of blues. For some reason, it keeps popping into my mind that someone will do it in a whole different variety of blues. I think it'll be beautiful. But that is the quilt. And with the quilt pattern, you're also going to get the cut sheet and layout information and how to do the sashing, because the sashing is actually two pieces that you put together. And then you get this big instruction sheet for doing the quilt, because there's a little trick to it, because the idea is that when you do it, these sashing in between the blocks goes like this and kind of looks like a peppermint stick, like a candy cane kind of. So down here is a layout for the row, and it shows you that every time you place that sashing strip next to a block, you flip it 180 degrees, and it tells you that in here as well. So there's those extra instructions, and you get the actual digital files for that that sashing set. Now, that sashing set and the quilt is for using the 9x9 block. It is not made for the 12x12. However, like I said, that sashing set is two pieces. So you could use those two pieces separately and use them for sashing on different size blocks. You can make them fit into different size blocks. So they're really convenient that way. And oh, the other thing I wanted to say is I did not put a border on it, but if you want to do just a wee bit of math, well, and it would be so simple. You would just look, however many you make for the columns, you would just make an outer column here, an outer column here, a column for the top and the bottom, and you could have a whole border with that sashing set as well, and then bind it if you're someone who really likes a border on your quilts. So that is the Peppermint Twist block. That's our November block of the month. And you get that free bonus pattern and sashing set. So I hope you all like that. And that is available out at the website. I'll give you all that information at the end. Thanks, Kathy. Thank you, Norma. I'm glad you guys like it. It's really a fun block to put together. And I really enjoyed creating it. I like using the pinwheel a lot in a center. I just didn't want to do another center pinwheel, but when I started thinking about the fork, I thought, oh, kind of almost like thing. That's where my brain was going. It was all about the pep candies. I'm not sure why that was, but it was. All righty, everybody. Are you ready? It is time to make a banner. Put this banner back up. Quilt Along. There, Quilt Along. The quilt at the end of the year, blocks of the month. So there are 12. We run our beginning of February. January, we're kind of, get over. So some of you did not use, just take quilt and put together and make a sampler quilt. That would look beautiful. Absolutely. But this year's quilt is this little guy right here. That's what it'll look like when it's finished. Okay. And this year we have been thinking about and working a lot with wall quilts, large wall quilts. Sorry, my brain was out there a little bit. And so this quilt is like 54 by 57. It's a nice throw size, actually. Let me see. I've got some questions here. Ruth, do you have any idea how much fabric you need for the quilt? Ruth, all of that information is in the pattern. When you get the pattern, Ruth, there is, let me find the page here for you. There is a fabric quantity sheet, and it tells you all the information for each color. And right here, on each, so it's the same here as here, but I just gave you 2 color varieties that you could choose from, and it will tell you exactly how much. And I think the top ends up being about 6 yards in total, maybe 6 1/4, but it's all exactly on here for you, Ruth, in the pattern itself. And Ruth, because you are oh, I'm sorry, Ruth. I don't know why I'm cutting out, dear. Am I cutting out for anyone else? Oh, it is for you guys too. Are you guys having any weather problems? Let me look at something. I know we have some rain moving in, but it's not a storm. I don't think it should. Oh, well. All right, folks, let me know if it keeps breaking up. Rosemary Gray, you're having, Rose, I'm guessing, Rose, you're having the same weather that I'm having, which is just a lot of rain right now. We're not having a thunderstorm or anything. I'm sorry about that. Everything seems to be working. I'm just trying to make sure I haven't knocked anything off. Everything seems to be working. I'm so sorry. You were asking about the peppermint twist block, Ruth, or Ruth. Oh, okay, Ruth, I get you. Clear weather here. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm cutting out, folks. Sometimes if you go out and come back in, it will clear up for you. Everything on my end seems to be good. So I do apologize, but I don't think there's anything I can do about it. Yes, you're cutting in and out. Really? Huh? I don't have anything here that shows me cutting out. I'm so sorry. I would just recommend that you go out and come back in, because I don't see anything here that shows that I'm having any kind of audio difficulty. Raining here too. Okay. Maybe it is the rain causing problems. I apologize, but I'm not sure there's your mic. Yeah, my mic doesn't use a battery, Kathy. It plugs directly into my system, so it's good. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep going though. I'll look at this afterwards, and if I can't, if the replay is bad, I'll re-video it, I guess, just this part for the thing. But I'm going to keep going for now. So this is the quilt. Oh, let's get back to that question about how much for the quilt for this. Thank you, Sharon. That's good to know. Thank you, Sharon. In your pattern, let's see. Let me find the thing here. Okay. In the pattern, Ruth, for the block, and you're a quilt labber, so you'll get it. It will tell you how much you use for each one of these. And then when you look at the pattern for the quilt and add up what you need, you can just add all that up and you'll have exactly how much you need for that. All righty. All right. So first thing I want to go over is the dates that we're going to be doing the Quilt Along, okay? So week 1 is today, the 13th of November. Week 2 is next Wednesday at 6 p.m., the 20th of November. And then we are skipping the week of Thanksgiving because it's the night before Thanksgiving. We're not doing that. I know I'm prepping dinner and stuff. And so I know that a lot of you are busy. So the week of Thanksgiving, we will not meet. We will not meet for Workshop Live, nor will we do the Quilt Along. Okay. And then week 3 is December 4th. Week 4 is December 11th. Week 5 is December 18th. And week 6 is January 8th. That's our finale. So we've got 6 weeks with 1 week off for Thanksgiving because we won't run into Christmas over the December holiday thing. Well, we do. We skip from the 18th of December to January 8th between week 5 and 6. All of that is off for the Christmas holiday. Okay. All righty. So again, when you get your fabric, or when you get your pattern, I gave you 2 color recommendations. I'm doing this one. I know some of you have told me you're doing this one, and I've had some questions from a lot of people this week for a variety of reasons, but one specific reason, which we don't need to get into, about them wanting to do it scrappy. And is that okay? Can they do it scrappy? You absolutely can do it scrappy. Of course you can. So let me give you a couple of ideas if you want to do it scrappy. If you can find in your stash enough fabric to do like all of the inside out blocks in the same fabric, and then all of the flower basket quilts in this or blocks in the same basket, or all the points home ones in these, but they're all different, that's one way to do it scrappy. Or if you don't and you're just shopping your stash, you're just pulling out anything and everything you have in your stash, do them all differently. Maybe you can pull out all blues, or you can look in your stash and say, you know what, I really like, let me get that page up. I really like this color scheme, but I'm not going to go buy this fabric. Maybe you have colors similar to that in your stash, and you can pull what you need from your stash and still have those colors just in your own personal fabrics that you already own. Okay. And let me just say to those of you that have written to me, one thing, you will never, zero, big fat zero, offend me by doing your quilt scrappy and not doing the things that I've put in here, the things that I've recommended or shared. Not at all. Quilting is personal. I get that 100%. I've said it before. I love scrappy quilts more than anything. And so I know a couple of you at least are doing scrappy. When you do your blocks, would you please share them with me? Because I'd love to share them with the rest of the group, because I have a feeling those quilts are going to turn out to be spectacular. And also, I support all of you, all your reasons that you gave me, all the folks that have written me. I support your reasons for wanting to do your quilts from your own stash, because your reasons are your reasons, and nobody else has the right to tell you otherwise, that you can't do a quilt or that you should have to justify yourself about how you do any of the quilts or projects here at Build a Quilt. Okay. And I support you all 100%, 110%. Okay. Okay. All right. The other thing you're going to get in the pattern is, because Kathy, I think this was you, dear. And if you are a Build a Quilt subscriber, this is in the Build a Quilt area. It's been in there for a while. I put it out pretty quickly after last Wednesday. Is the full size coloring sheet of the full sized quilt. So those that you want to do scrappy, you have the block patterns, the block coloring sheets for the individual blocks in each of the block patterns. But this is the whole quilt. Now, it takes 2 pages to put together. So you're going to have to, when you print it, it'll come out in 2 pages, and you can just tape it together like I did on this one. And so this is technically a 10 by 10 block, which is the size of this whole quilt piece here, to give you a little extra room for your coloring. Some, when I tried to do it all just so it would all fit on one sheet, and the spaces were so tiny, you guys, it would not have been useful for you. And I wanted to give you something useful, and you asked for it, so you got it. Alrighty, so that's in the pattern now too. If you had already bought your pattern, I sent this to you as an extra, a special extra. All the Build a Quilt subscribers, it's in the Build a Quilt area for members only on the website for you to download, okay? But it's all of this is now in the full pattern set if you are buying the full pattern set. If you're not a subscriber and you're buying the full pattern set, all of this is in there. All righty, so are you guys ready? I bet you've already figured out. Thank you so much. You're very welcome, Kathy. My pleasure. Of course, it's my pleasure. So you guys probably have figured out what the block is. If you've been looking behind me at all, you know what block it is. So this is our quilt. And here's something I know about quilt alongs because I've done a lot of them myself. Everybody's all excited at the beginning. Yay, we're doing the quilt along. Oh, I can't wait. Yay. I'm all prepped. I've got my blocks prepped. I've got this done. Yay. Or I've got half of it done. I'm so excited. And by the time we get to the end, we're like, oh, I still got to catch up on week 3. Oh, I don't have week 4 done. Oh, no, in this block. And at the end, a lot of quilt alongs, they save the most complicated or the one that has the most pieces or the one that has to be done, have as many the most blocks made done for the end. And by that time, you're tuckered out. You're not necessarily discouraged or you don't want to do it or you don't want to get it done. You're just kind of worn out a little bit by that point. So I figured we will start not necessarily with the hardest block at all. In fact, I think of all the blocks, this is the easiest one, but we will start out with the one we're going to do the most. But before we say, let's do a quick look at our blocks. This is the flower basket block. I just love that block. I think it turned out so good. This is probably my favorite of the year, Points Home. Yep, I love that block. That's one of them. These are not necessarily all in the colors that these are the samples from when we did the blocks during the month. This is our inside out block, okay? This is our blooming star block. And then this one, my sample is the bigger version, but this is the diamond and a cross block. Those are the 5 blocks that we are doing in the quilt along. I just wanted you to see the actual blocks before you instead of seeing them on the pattern. So are you ready? The first block we're going to do week number 1 inside block. It's probably pad. It's square you to sit there or to make sure that make later. I'm 8 blocks done for your side. That's all, and put them to the. Those have been the light, dark. If you do get an easier time, but it'll just come. You will be. See if I'm getting audio. Hang on. Okay, let's see. Okay, can you hear me? Okay. All right, it seems like there's a problem.